Oh, hey folks, how you doing there? Coming to you today on Monday, October 10th. Well, what can you say about last night's political just what can you say about the presidential debate? Hillary straight up to her head and him using her as a hand puppet. Wow. Hillary was forced to use the video of Donald Trump talking smack to his boys about, he's going to XYZ to this girl and he's going to grab her on the blah, 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 and he's going to have a tic-tac because he feels the need to kiss her because she's just so gorgeous. Okay, that's two guys talking smack, locker room setting. All men do that. Hang on a second here. Let me just clarify for all the screaming, whining liberals here. All men talk smack. That's right. All men talk smack about how bad they're going to bone the chick, how bad she's going to be crying when we get done, what our sexual peccadillos are, the size of our various attributes, and all these things come into play because men talk smack when we're with other men. No matter how offended you women are, that is total Bravo Sierra, okay? Complete and total Barbara Streisand. Complete and total just BS, all right? That's just not happening. Women know men talk crap. We talk crap publicly. When we get liquored up in a bar, we are not afraid to let loose the, we let our monkeys out of the cage. We let our mouths run freely. And women hear this stuff, okay? For women to say, oh, I'm so offended. I've never heard men talk like that. I'm now fearing sexual assault and bloody, 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 bloody. The fakest, most disingenuous crap I have ever heard coming from the female side of the equation was considered on the fact that Donald Trump basically talked smack to his buddies about all the various things he really was wanting to do to women. That's sexual assault, grabbing her by the P word. No, he didn't do that, okay? Now, on the other side of the aisle, on the other side of the, lecterns, call it what you will, here's Hillary Clinton now hanging the albatross around her neck as Bill Clinton is going to hung out to dry with 3 of the women that he committed severe, complete, and absolute sexual predatory practices upon. She could not defend him in the slightest of that. And I think it was absolutely just wonderful for Donald Trump to say, okay, you're going to throw this BS video at me? Fine. I'm going to contrast this with the fact that, well, supposedly, Hillary, you're so for women, you've given shelter, you've given comfort, and you've defended a raging sexual predator who is in the White House, lost his law license, had to pay $850,000 in damages to one woman that supposedly he didn't do anything to because, well, he was president. He didn't do things like that because, well, you're so far above board. And you know what? The most disingenuous crap ever from any Democrat is the fact that they say they are better than anybody else and they don't do these things. Half the stuff that you hear from these guys behind the scenes on open mic, hot mic, is pretty much the most 7 dirty words you can't say on television. Read or see the George Carlin bit. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The 7 dirty words you can't say on television. Laced profanity, vulgarity, diminutive, racial epithet, just ridden crap that these guys use to speak to one another when they're thinking that nobody is listening. That's the way they speak all the time. Donald Trump is a New Yorker, okay? I'm not going to excuse the fact that he's a New Yorker. I am a New Yorker. You get us off mic, you get us off camera. We use very salty, very descriptive, very diminutive terms to people that we consider beneath us because they are, and we're not afraid to speak our minds. That's just how we are. You talk to anybody. Okay, I'll reach across the river. Even those people from New Jersey. We have a very unique Boston. Any of the big municipal northeastern areas. We have a very unique way of speaking that, let's just say, is very descriptive. And I'm using that air quote thing. Okay, very, very descriptive. And of all those things, you can take from it what you will, but it is us talking smack in private. When the Democrats do it, It is describing things they want to do to the United States and to the American public. It is not just two guys talking about how much they want to bang some chick because she has marvelous knockers and her ass looks great, and they would love to stick it in every body part that they possibly could stick it into because she's just all that and, well, the cat's pajamas. There's a big, big, big divide there. And the thing about it is of all things, they are screaming, whining, crying, carrying on for every way they possibly can. Of all those things, though, Donald Trump is now showing Trump as being 3 points ahead of Hillary Clinton. On the LA Times, okay? Now that is huge. Like talking about Grand Canyon size, huge. If they're saying 3 points, it's not 3 points. It is more like a number they do not wish to quote, and they use that, margin of error. How the hell do you have a margin of error when you ask 100 people which way you're voting and 3 people say, well, I don't know? Well, okay, that leaves a pool of 97 people, okay? Do the effing math. It's not rocket science. These liberals are so disingenuous, so fake, and they're being seen for what they are. Why? Because there's another thing that Donald Trump is doing that the liberals absolutely hate. He is calling them exactly what they are, and he is putting it right back in their sanctimonious faces and not taking their crap. You liberals are going to find out the hard way. Donald Trump is not Mitt Romney. He is not milquetoast wishy-washy. If you piss him off and you jerk with him, he will shove it back into your face, and he will shove it back into your face hard. It is not going to be something that you just get away with, and him going, oh, I don't want to offend anybody. The only thing that he moderated his tone with yesterday was he was trying to stay, not like the, okay, well, let me tell you how to say that thing, and, kind of that, Carnival Barker thing that he kind of gets into. He used more presidential speaking mannerisms, vocalizations, and also the best 5 words of the night. I don't think that you would be a good president, this, that, and the other thing, blah, 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 blah. Well, he turned back around and threw it back in her face and said something to the effect of, yeah, because you'd be in jail. Case in point, that's the only thing that we needed to say here. My phone's going to ring for a little bit longer. No, we're done here. Case in point, he did the stuff that was unscrupulous, and he got to throw it back into her face, and it was glorious. I don't think that she should be president of the United States. Well, you know what? If I was president, you'd be in jail. I'm going to appoint a special investigation guy. I'm going to appoint all these other things to find out just what's up with you. If I'm president, I will figure out what your game is, lady, and I will throw you in the darkest corner of the jail where they have to pump in daylight. That's what people wanted to hear. That's why it got knocked out of the park. And Trump, you kicked ass. Keep it up. Change your tone maybe just a little bit more and try to get more inclusive with the women. And I think you're going to do just fine. Because everybody else that you spoke to, you embraced. Everybody else that you spoke to could see you are not effing around and you mean business. Democrats are now running scared and they're getting very, very frightful of what's coming up next. Why? Because what's coming up next is going to be very simply put, our election process, and we elect the proper person and we say the other person is not worthy of note. Oh, one last thing. And I will use the S word on this one. If you guys didn't see the footage, Hillary was standing there and a fly landed on her face, then landed on her shirt. Why? Because flies like shit. On that one, folks, I'm going to break off. Equate, keep tendering as always. You know it, you love it. Hillary Clinton, your days are numbered. And Donald Trump has got your number. See you guys.